All right. Hello, everybody. Wow. It's great to see you all. Great shining faces, 140 people here as we get ready to engage. Thank you. I see Alexander Laszlo. Thank you for all your gifts to the symposium from the Laszlo Institute and all the beautiful projects down around the world, but located in Argentina. Alexander, it's great to have you with us. Charles Betterton and friends. This is a session that's run by the amazing team from the Hague Center for Global Governance in partnership with John and Becky from One World. Excuse me. It's all happening here. So I want to throw to Anna-Marie. Let me give a brief introduction to Anna-Marie and to Hasenna, if I can, from the Hague Center for Global Governance, partners in all that we do in One World and World Unity Week, and amazing work all around the world that the Hague Center is doing. So Hasenna, thank you. Anna-Marie, thank you. And we can get spotlights up here and bring Anna-Marie and Hasenna up here to run this engagement session. Now, the visionary voices were very full and rich. So, of course, they have so much wisdom to share. And now it's the engagement session that has been lovingly designed by you, loving the gold, as we are here, of course, in the Lunar New Year, entering the Year of the Dragon. And Shinyin Kwaila to everybody. Happy New Year. Very exciting. Anna-Marie, over to you and to Hasenna. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you all, and great to see you. I was already here, so I've been seeing you a little bit longer, everybody. And thank you all for the presenters, for the inspiration that we received. And yes, I thought with this special day, with the Year of the Dragon starting, I could put on a little bit of gold. And we are going to shorten a little bit our program, but we do really want to see how we can engage and give us all the opportunity to speak together. And one of the things that we really heard many of the speakers say actually is, what is your purpose? What is your sacred mission? What are we about? And how can we share that to team up? So we'll get back to that in a minute. But first, I just want to hear your voice, Hasenna. And please say something that you would like to share.
Well, this is just a great way now that everything on implementation has been shared, such amazing wisdom. We actually get to share about it, and that takes us into the next phase. So that's wonderful. Like Dr. Judy Kroll said, the process is us. How are we going to unfold?
Thank you. So we would like to start actually with the using the Mentimeter and giving ourselves, all of us, a moment to share in that, to just try and give a few words. What is your sacred mission? It was clear that how important it is, and we know that. And we'll see it a little bit so that we just get into a sense. And then we will go into breakout groups of 5 in which you can be sharing with each other what is the consequence around implementation based on what we've heard. And you'll get some time, and we suggest that you don't spend a lot of time introducing yourself other than naming how you just formulated or how you sense your sacred mission, your purpose, whatever words you want to give it, so that we actually practice what we've been, what the speakers have been sharing, and what is also the call, of course, of Ervin Laszlo, why we are here. And so that's what we wanted to do. But first, let's just take a moment. And if you want, you can just really take a moment of some breathing, some deep breath, and realize that we are in this golden thread that started earlier today with the first session around what is humanity's sacred mission. And now we are focusing on what is yours? How would you voice it? How would you write it down today at this moment in time? Please go ahead, and we'll see, and we'll take a little time. And John, thank you for orchestrating this.
There's 2 ways people can add their voice. Either, there you go, using the QR code, which is like you take a picture of that code and go to menti.com, or you can just go on your phone to menti.com and put in the code at the top. And that'll let you bring your voice to this collective expression of what is your sacred mission. You can see there's 4 responses, 5 responses. It's us together sharing our sacred missions. What's nice is this will group these together. We'll be able to see more information on top of this as well. So it's sorting these. So we're going to do more. Keep adding yours. But look at this. We've seen 6 responses in humanity flourishing. Uplifting consciousness has 6 response. So that's the kind of capabilities we have to integrate what you're saying. I'm going to slide down here so you guys can see more of what's appearing. Now, this is the real-time feedback. We're also encouraging you to give us reflective feedback in the survey. And all of this is going to be used to help inform our sessions on the 18th. There's 2 sessions.
We'll get back to that later indeed, but this is beautiful, John. Thank you for grouping it as inspiration. And there's no right or wrong when we write about our sacred mission or speak to it. We'll just do a little 30 seconds more, and then we will do the magic, Becky, if you can, to put
Yes, how many minutes shall we do?
12 minutes, please. Let's just give people some time, and we'll do 5 people in per breakout room.
And we encourage everybody to go into the breakout rooms. You'll have a choice. You'll have to opt in to go. And you won't be missing anything here in the main room if you choose to go into a breakout room. We're encouraging people to go deeper with each other in these breakout sessions.
Someone's a big fan of promoting humanity's caring for the earth.
And a question for the breakout is really to look into, okay, if this is your sacred mission, what does that mean for implementation? Because that's the theme for today, for this session. And we've heard examples and inspiring voices. So we would like to explore together, if this is my sacred mission, which you can use in the introduction, what is that? What does that mean for implementation? How do we put it into practice? And there were, from the different speakers, some tips and advice and steps. There's, like I said, there's no right or wrong. It's just really to explore with each other and to start putting this into another way of practice inspired by these visionary voices. Becky, please do the magic.
Here we go. Everybody fly to the rooms.
See you later. Enjoy.
And something should pop up on your screen asking you to accept the room assignment that we've moved you to. And you can accept that. If you're on a phone, you can just tap where it says join room. There'll be a little button, usually on the top left of your phone. You can accept that to get moved. Great. I see people flying to the rooms. Wonderful. We continue to go. Numbers are going. And we still are live streaming right now. And so for those of you who are watching us on the live stream, thank you. We want you to join us in the Zoom room as well. You can join us in the Zoom room by registering at, I'll tell you the URL to go visit, and then we'll tell you how you can get the, I'll get the URL, hang on a second, and share that with everybody. Good, so.
And they can also share in the feedback. You can show that slide again so they can see the QR code. Everybody's welcome to put their voice in. So let's show them the URL to get to the room so they can come join us.
Yes. And they can go to unity.earth/symposium-2024 and you'll get an email and it'll tell you how you get our Zoom link. Your very own Zoom link, so you can join us. It's the same Zoom link for the entire weekend, so come and join us.
Right. And here's the QR code if you're watching online. You can either go to menti.com and put in that code on the top. You can see more answers have come in since we stopped, or use the QR code. So we're interested in your voice being a part of this as well. Wow. So we're still live. And most folks are in the rooms. I think there's how many rooms? 20 rooms?
We have 19 rooms.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
No, I was just affirming that it does start from within, working in a circle, in a sacred manner. We heal and develop ourselves, our relationships in the world. Those are the 16 guiding principles.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, one of the things that has been confirmed again is the importance of the sharing, of speaking up, showing up, so that we can connect with each other and see how we can link up and lift up and light up, as we say at the whole worldview. And yeah, grateful for the different initiatives and the different networks who are all trying to do that. And I can see that, in one world, we're really trying to let that all come together so that we have easier access and can find us. And so I think that's an affirmation for this work in that sense.
Yes.
The question, as you posited it the first time, Anna-Marie, was what are the consequences of implementation around what you've heard today? And for all of the things that we've, many of us been contemplating for a long time about how we be the change we wish to see in the world. For me, my experience with this is how many of the shadows inside of myself can I illuminate that I could become a better person myself, that I could do less harm to nature myself, which is why I'm a vegan. I don't want to create suffering in the world, unnecessary suffering, to fortify my own being. Anything that I do, I want it to have great intention and awareness in my own heart. And I can always do more, and I can always love more, and I can always contemplate and reconsider. Being alive, we cannot live and not do harm. And yet, for me, it's just about starting and aspiring and trying and knowing that I'm imperfect. And the shadow work, we've been so privileged in these sacred Zoom rooms over these years to hear deep stories of people who've been wounded by the racial trauma of the categorization of race, and the opportunities we have to look inside of ourselves and what does race mean to me? What does race mean to me when I speak with someone who identifies themselves as a different race than me? And what is mine to do towards the healing of other people, and my own work, illuminating that inside of myself. And it's hard. It's shadow work, and it's tricky. It's tricky because it pops in like a cat's tail. You think that you have it, but as soon as you think you have it, then you haven't. You've lost it. And so it's elusive, and it ebbs and flows, and it loves. It's ever changing, and we have to start by forgiving ourselves as well, forgiving our own imperfections of being human, and, aspiring to keep learning, growing our own hearts.
It's never finished.
When you said imperfection, Becky, and what came to me is in evolution.
In evolution? Imperfection in evolution.
Well, maybe it's not even imperfection. Maybe it's just in evolution. Like looking back from where we are now, we look at, evolution happened back then, and we got to here, and that wasn't imperfection. Maybe it just gave us the origin point for evolution.
That's interesting.
I find myself very cautious about my own thoughts about what we need to do to implement. Probably because it's that thinking that got us in this mess. How do I know that I'm not really perpetuating it, thinking I'm making it better? We've seen that. We've seen how doing good as a way of being can often do a lot of harm. So I think there's a vulnerability, a willingness to not know, to genuinely learn how to learn a new way of being with myself and with each other that is really difference making. Talking about it is necessary but not sufficient. So I think love keeps showing up again. As you know, I say that idea, when you say I love you, what you're saying is that your concerns are my concerns. So getting more interested in the people around me, getting more interested in how we turn what we have into what we need. The implementation, there is a natural order to that. The design and manifest process is very natural, but we're not quite there yet. We can see what we've been good at has brought us to results that we really don't want. That's what Otto Scharmer says beautifully. We're very well organized to produce results that nobody wants. So, like Dr. King.
I presume that's also part of the evolutionary process that, Hasenna, you were mentioning. Now we know that we don't want it. And then, of course, there's a consequence to it. And yeah.
It is a step up to know that we don't know.
Yes.
A step from blindness where we don't even know that we don't know. And we think we know, which is really what I'm most afraid of, is that we think we have the answer and we just have really more of the same. So it's the sensibility.
That's also, I didn't speak to that because I felt we just needed to get into the breakouts as quickly as possible, but using the framework that we also often use, and that I was taught by Marilyn Hamilton of what, so what, now what, which is also used in the action research. So we did a little bit of play with the Mentimeter about what is my sacred mission, because that's the call that we're here to look at. Now it's about, so what? If that's my sacred mission and that's yours, and we're talking about implementation, what does that mean? And I am sensing that on the 8th, I'm going to invite the people to not come into the now what immediately, but to hold the space of the not knowing exactly, and come to the 18th to see how we can then be inspired, surprise ourselves. So that's why this aha moment is also, can I notice where there's something new perhaps happening, or something that I've forgotten, or how can I remember? So that's...
Anna-Marie, the rooms are closing now, so we'll have a flurry back of our breakout people. They're coming back here in about 20 seconds. So,
well, welcome back.
They're all coming. They're going to. There's 19 more seconds. Then they'll be all back.
We can put up the Mentimeter again, John, and we can start sharing.
Which question do you want? What's your takeaway?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So I'm going to make it so that everyone can see the QR code if they have it.
I'm curious to hear. I'm seeing a lot of smiling faces. That's always a good sign. So I hope you all had a good time, and that the synchronicities were there as we hope that a little bit of coherence can help that magic appear.
Okay.
That looks very interesting, John.
That's not coming from me, but...
Okay, so we're going to ask everybody to put in the Mentimeter, and if it doesn't work in the Mentimeter, we'll start doing it in the chat. What's your takeaway of your breakout conversation around this and around implementation? Well, you might have spoken and gone into a different direction, but somehow we think there will be a thread that we are looking for in this second session of awakening to humanity's sacred mission. And so that's what we were going to ask you. What are your takeaways? Is it going to work, John, or are we going to do it in the chat?
Let's do it in the chat.
Okay, so if people can start doing it in the chat, then at a certain point, we will be looking at that and seeing how we can cluster it and get back to you in one of the other sessions. But let's just start sharing, because one of the things that we're trying to do is show ourselves who we are and where we are. Community assists us to grow our mission and mission as a whole. Beautiful. Focus, music, the network of networks. Listen more deeply. Good heart. Hasenna, I know you're very quick at reading these things as well. So if you're seeing any patterns or things to share. Overcoming globalization. Entertainment, education, experiments, experiential.
Tamsin's learning to human well.
We'll just go on for another minute.
This energy is so awesome, having everyone's responsive.
Water's magic to assist souls coming to assist Gaia now. That's also beautiful.
Love, evolution, be human together.
Openness to our radical interconnection is critical. Yes, that's what we're doing here, isn't it? We're practicing by sharing and speaking to it. Join one world Earth. Yes, and there are also, we also have in the different partners, there are different ways that you can join and connect with each other, which I think is part of the diversity that is in the unity. So we're not speaking about that everybody has to come to the same place, because that's also, like Tamsin was showing us, the diversity in nature and the diversity in us. But the connection, yes. And my next question, or our next question, would be, and for that, I suggest that we also hear a few voices that we could perhaps think about, if you already also have put it in the chat. Was there anything today that actually surprised you? Or did you have an aha moment, either in your breakout, whilst you were listening to the visionary speakers, when you were reading what others were writing, or it just came up, as sometimes it can come up? Was there something that you would say, that actually surprised me? And if there is something that you feel that surprised you that you think would be good to voice into the space, then please put up your hand. I will ask you to do it very shortly, and I will also really need to stop you because I just want to give more people a voice. So please bear with me if I am going to say stop, please. But yes, go ahead, Sharon, and then Anna. Please unmute yourself and give us a little sense of your aha moment. Go ahead, Sharon.
Now, I've been trying to unmute, but it wouldn't let me till just now. Okay, thank you. Yes, I will share with you all that what came this morning that was a surprise to me was we were asked to tune into what the frequencies were or the words were that were not present in all of that love fest that was happening this morning. And what came to me was the need to honor the role that conflict has played, and to be in great gratitude for the role that conflict has played in getting us to this new level, this new place, this new foundation, so that we may begin yet again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Yes, in the main hall, we were also speaking about, Hasenna was pointing out that maybe those things are part of evolution. Thank you. Anna Kathleen, do you want to go? No? You don't know how? Okay. Well, maybe type it in the chat then. Sperry.
Okay, there it is. I've got it.
There you go.
Yes, my biggest joy today was the sense of unanimity. To think that there are so many people on the planet that can say yes, yes, yes to the same beautiful road, and that we could share it together. I mean, this feels miraculous to me.
Thank you. Thank you for voicing that. Sperry, please go ahead, and then Ariel.
Yeah, thank you. I've been exploring for about 40 years how nature has designed us to be able to share a commonly sensed, wholly heartfelt, conscious intelligence together as a species on this planet. And it's a little bit like how for us individually, our sight and our smell and hearing and feeling and sensing are all able to be felt in an integrated way. Well, imagine the work that I've been doing with thousands of people for 40 years, where we're able to experience the greater body, heart, and mind that we all share as a telesomatic unity of a single indivisible consciousness, and been able to prove that we're indivisible on instrument even when we're thousands of miles apart, to support that our experience of unity consciousness that we're capable of as 8 billion people. Nature has provided a way for us to awaken together, and it's through being aware of awareness, which has been said in the East, that awakeness is the only constant in the whole of consciousness. It's like a mirror. And when we're aware of this awakeness collectively, in my experience with tens of thousands of people.
So Sperry, what surprised you, or what was your aha moment? Because you're sharing, thank you for sharing the great work that you're doing. That's really beautiful. Was there something in it that today you have been shown something that you didn't expect or is new for you? Or
Well, it's been wonderful to feel how many of us are experiencing and calling out this awakening on a global level. And that is the overall joy to know that many of us are working together for that end.
Thank you. Ariel, and then I'm going to hand back to John, because he's been able to get the Mentimeter working again, and it would be fun to also give us the opportunity to let the Mentimeter mirror us back what we're writing. But Ariel, please go ahead. What is your aha moment, or what surprised you?
What surprised me was the young Japanese woman who talked about her mother, and I was fascinated by that. I knew nothing about it. And I've been involved with the Goi Foundation, and maybe I heard it before, but I didn't absorb it. Who knows? But that was really amazing to me. Another thing that kind of really tickled me was I kept hearing about this book that Tamsin wrote, Team, and I imagined it was spelled T-E-A-M. So I was amazed when I saw it was spelled T-E-E-M. And I thought, well, there's, both are good words, So, but here she's talking about how animals team together and how people need to team more. I'm thinking T-E-A-M. So that did surprise me. I think the aha moment was just the last breakout we did. And I was with Laszlo's son, Alessandro, and some other people. And I know him from several over the years, previous symposiums like this online on Zoom calls. And the other people who spoke, and I just thought, these are beautiful people. These are really beautiful people. I'm in the company of greatness, and that we all have, we just all have so much that we want to give and to make a better world. And I have to say, this is the first one. My aha moment was, hey, we're going to do this, because this is really focused on manifesting. That there's been a lot of ideas and, books and but this is really focused on manifesting, and I think it's going to happen. I go back and forth on that.
It's happening. It's happening.
Indeed, it's happening. John, what do you want to do? Shall we ask Jay to speak and then you go up?
Tell me the question you want.
Let's go on with the aha moment.
Okay.
Surprised you.
After Jane, we'll do it.
Unmute yourself, Jane, if you can.
Unmuting. Hey, I unmuted. It's a miracle. Well, you know, the last couple of years when I meditate, I get this vision of outstretched arms, outstretched and hands, but no faces. But I felt the presence of this group long before I showed up here this morning. And being here with all of you, seeing your faces, feeling your hearts, feeling one with you, that is certainly an aha and a beautiful, beautiful moment and experience that I will treasure. And I look forward to all of the other moments we're going to be sharing together as one.
Thank you. That is really beautiful, Jane. And I just would like to mark that with a sound of the bowl and just give us a moment of silence while John puts it up, so that we can just take a deep breath together, because that's actually what we're trying to do, that we bring it together and that you can feel it from afar, that you can sense into it, and that we're also leaning into coming and listening to the future that is coming. That's the thread that also Jude and also Julie was speaking about, the golden thread. So I'll just give a one sound, and then John, you can go up with the Mentimeter.
Beautiful. All right, let's see if we can play Mentimeter together and get good at this in the days to come. We'll only get better. So if you're having trouble connecting, we'll help you. But you can either use the QR code, or you can go on your phone or on the computer to meti.com and put in this code. I'm going to copy the code and put it into the chat as well. So you got 3 ways you can get to this. And as you type your answers and submit them, it's going to appear here. So let's see what, from your point of view, was your group's aha moment, if any. Collaboration is the key. Ubuntu and one love. That was the aha. That simple. Presence. I'm going to turn off the code so we can see more in a second. Love. One love, love. Sound us the medium that connects us all. Sound us the medium that connects us all. Connection. Love is the key moving forward. Another vote for love. Healing love. Honoring life. Soon spirituality will take over. Gosh. Ready to human together at this extraordinary moment of time in love and peace. There are networks and colleagues everywhere beyond our current spheres of influence. With the work that Earth Mother Network is doing and how it is time to join One World on Earth, share my voice and vision, and collaborate for the greater good of all. Oh, of networks keep diversity and flow. Discovering we all chose entertainment as the means of communication to the world. Water is the connection to our higher selves. Support each other. Peace. There's been 33 responses. You see, I can see that in the upper left. Peace. Power of diversity in our retirement. Beautiful, powerful expansions. Water is the connection to our higher selves. Telling the truth. Purpose requires conscious action. Infinite potential. Importance of oneness to interconnection. Our shared destiny, including Mark, who just found the event this morning. A strong sense of a critical mass, taking creative and collaborative action. These were the aha moments. Start with the heart, telling the truth, infinite potential, enjoying and appreciating each other. It's really beautiful. Maybe we should just put one of us in charge. We all have so many good answers.
Yeah, and maybe you can we'll just let it flow a little bit longer, and then you can see if it can group in a certain way. I always like to be a little bit surprised by the way the system groups it, just as another way to inspire us, because that's how we're using it, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if that is turned on. Let's see. We've got 57 responses. I'm not seeing that option here. I'm going to look for it, though.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll have to just...
bask in it. Readiness, consciousness. Yes. Consciousness grows. It's beautiful to find how others are also working to the improvement of humanity all over the world. Power of knowing. Let's see if okay, it just took me to the bottom, didn't group it. Blessings, what will be is in our hands, and joining them together increases our outcomes. What will be is in our hands, and joining them together increases our outcomes. Ooh, there's a lot of wisdom there. Resonates with me.
Yes, absolutely.
Our hands.
Are you just posting in the chat? Where are you all posting?
Okay. So if you look on the screen, everything you're seeing there, you can get to, if you go on your phone, if you want, if you have a phone, or go to the website, MENTI. Look on the very top, that menti.com. Or here, I'm going to put in the chat again. There's a link in the chat now coming that if you just click on, will take you to this website where we're all combining our short sentences here. The 62 responses are on the screen. Ethical medicine, infinity, blessing.
Light, love, healing, and courage. Okay, so I'm going to have the courage to say that we're going to stop in 30 seconds, John.
Courage. Courage received.
We can end with "We are weaving the future now."
Yes, that's a good one.
You have the courage, though, Anna Marie, because isn't it 3 o'clock in the morning where you are?
Yes, it is.
So, good courage.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right, I'm going to end it now. Here we go.
Well, thank you all for joining and for also being open to put that in and put it on top of the screen. And actually what we were doing was, first we were looking at what is our sacred mission, and then I was asking a question that actually brought us a little bit into the so what. And this was bringing us into what surprised us, to just be aware of that we're not always in the repetitive what we already know, but are there also things that are showing up like that? And after the so what comes the now what? What are now the next actions? But actually, I would like you to hold it, to not fill that totally in. I mean, if you have something that really inspires you, of course, do it. Take it, take the lead, take the step. And also, we still have 4 more sessions to go. And then we're going to have a week of a pause where you can let it all sink in, and where you can reflect using the survey, coming into one of the spaces of one of the different networks, coming into One World, wherever you want to be going. And then please return on the 18th and let us then really together explore and harvest and come up with, and now what? What are we going to do collectively, and how are we inspired, and what can help us to stay on track in these times that are also complex, complicated, but also beautiful, as we can notice here. So that's our invitation to come to the next sessions, to use the survey that, John, you're going to be speaking to in a minute. I think that's our reflective way of working, and to join us on the 18th, in which we can really further explore and we can harvest what has been percolating in ourselves, in our hearts, in our connections together.
So, Anna Marie, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that. Thank you, everybody. Yes, it's true. We are looking to break some new ground in how we learn together and how we learn from each other. So part of that includes this real-time feedback that we're experimenting with, as you can see. And in addition to this real-time feedback, Mentimeter it's called, that's the Menti site, there's also this idea of a more comprehensive reflective feedback. And that's in the survey that we put into the chat, and I'll put it in again. And Anna Marie, and the good news is you don't have to answer it all right away. You can go back to it. But we would like, if you want to give us that feedback for each of the sessions you participate in. So one of the first questions, in fact, maybe I should show it to you, is it asks you, well, which session are you giving feedback on? So this is what it looks like. And there's a whole bunch of good questions. And you don't have to answer all of them, but the more you answer, this is going to be supportive for us as we prepare for the 18th. We set up the 18th as a day of our awakening, really not knowing in advance what that's going to look like, and saying that we are embracing our path forward, not knowing exactly what that's going to look like either. So if you usually in the past ignored this kind of thing, don't ignore this time. Let's go to something new together. We don't know how to make the most meaning out of all the feedback we're going to get, but we're going to learn and we're going to be open about our learning. And we're not exactly sure how we're going to act on all the feedback we've gotten, but we're open to learning. We want to know, like, impact and takeaways. What happened for you here? Can you identify some action you're going to take? And then can we connect up, like Alexander says? Just getting connected is so profound. So this survey that's here is available for you. You can start it. You can come back to it. It does have an ending. This last section just on additional comments. And I'll show you already, it's giving us so much useful information. Look at this is the other one. And everyone's available to all the answers. How about that? So if I reload this page, I think we've had about 20 responses so far, but it's really helpful. So you can see what other people are saying as well, just like we were doing here. So anyway, I don't want to take more time. I want to let everybody go to do what's next, but looking forward to you.
Hey, John. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Anna Marie.
Yeah, I am seeing also that Shonda has her hand up, but I don't know if that's on purpose. But I also want to suggest that when you're filling it in, the way I like to do that is to see how it can also contribute to my own awareness and learning, and giving through the questions. That's how you've tried and how we've tried to look at it and make it also with the Coherence Council to see if it gives us certain perspectives that we might not be coming towards in ourselves. So using it in a playful way also like that. And we will be continuing to do more of these kind of practices in the coming time, in the coming year. I'm sure of that, to see how we can do that. Okay.
Shonda, important part. Let's just do that and then we'll close, everybody. Okay, Shonda.
Wonderful. Thank you. I just wanted to say, Anna Marie and Hasenna, what an amazing presentation. Thank you so very much. And John, please remember, and Becky, to tell everyone how to join the One World community.
That's what I wanted. That's
amazing connections. Thank you. Thank you. Much love.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. So that's what we really want to do. There are many of you that are new to our community here, and we are all together in One World, which is our mighty network of over 1,600 and growing like-hearted people who believe we are co-creating and writing the new story together. So we want you to join us in One World. We'll put the link in the chat. It is freely given, and it's not monetized, so you don't have to pay anything to be there. there. You gift your attention and you get to choose what interests you that you read. And John and I will be doing sessions once you register there, showing you exactly how to use the network, where you can see events, including the events of this weekend. Something else that I wanted to share, we had a couple questions in the chat, is about these sessions. So Anna Marie explained we have our 6 sessions over the next couple of days, and each one is different, but we'll be weaving. And we want you to come to as many as you're able to, but not stress out if you can't come to all of them. Just be present as you can. We will be sending out links to the recordings that will be available so you can watch them afterwards. And then join us next Sunday when we reflect on the whole experience. So again, join oneworld.earth. If you're watching online, you can join that right from where you are. Join us, create a free profile there, and start enjoying some of the beautiful offerings there. And to come back tomorrow, or I should say, we list everything in Eastern time, 10 a.m. tomorrow Eastern, which is Saturday, and we'll be doing our session 3. And then tomorrow afternoon, 6 p.m. again, will be session 4. So we'll tell you about Sunday's sessions tomorrow. So thank you all so much for joining us.
Please take this opportunity to thank you, Becky, and to thank also Hubcast Media that is working so hard behind the scenes in helping us, and of course you also, John and Ben, and everybody actually that is here. And I want to give a special thanks also to Julie Krull, because she has taken up the opportunity to weave this thread every day. Amazing. Thank you so much, Julie. We're really looking forward to hear your stories in the coming time, and that will also continue to be with us for the rest of the year and in all the other things that we're doing. Hasina, anything you would like to say?
Oh, I'll just end.
I have a great trust in human nature, because human nature is nature in the human form.
We are 8 billion people living on one planet. Will we ever be a global community living in peace with each other and harmony with the earth? Or are we doomed to increasing destruction, degradation of nature, and endless antagonism towards each other? There is a critical mass around the world now that realizes it is ultimately up to us in our common humanity to answer and act on this fundamental question.
There is a mission. There is a tremendous wave surfacing. People joining together, asking, what can we do? We cannot go on as we were. We have to move forward.
While institutions fail us in this critical moment, we must look for hope in ourselves and each other to become and to drive the change, the upshift that needs to happen now. This is your invitation to Awakening Humanity's Sacred Mission, an international symposium and call to action. This live global online event, initiated by Ervin Laszlo, represents an unprecedented cooperation of global impact networks. The symposium, featuring many of the world's leading thinkers and activists, is free to all and takes place on February 9th through 11th, 2024, across the Lunar New Year. We invite you to join us in awakening to humanity's sacred mission, together as one human family. The time has come. Register for free now, and please share widely.
People are already beginning to feel it. There is a great upshift underway today. So join it, because together we can fulfill the sacred mission of humanity.
A lot of people look at this and think, gosh, this might be difficult. This is a really hard work coming together and saving the world, so to speak. That's not for me. That's a big job. Actually, it's all quite the contrary, because what does give us a sense of hopelessness or despair or uselessness is the thought that we can't do anything, and we put our own self-imposed limitations on everything we do. But once we flip that switch and we begin thinking, yeah, this is the way nature and the universe works. This is the flow of the whole movement. This is the reason that 14 billion years of evolution have taken place to get us to precisely this point. And when we begin to think in those cosmic terms, that something's been going on for nearly 14 billion years to bring us to this point, and maybe even the crisis on Earth today is there to motivate us, to trigger this. And as it was once said, there's nothing more powerful than a great idea whose time has come. And this is the time, and it's a good idea, because what's better than coming together as one humanity, working together, locking arms, sharing our experiences. And then suddenly, not only is that not hard, it becomes increasingly easier as we work with more people, we get more ideas, we share the burden, and it's not a burden any longer. It's just a joyous, beautiful path forward with increasing opportunities, creativity bubbling up from the dialogue between us as sincere human souls opening up to each other and exploring the way forward. So it's not hard work, it's blessed work. It fulfills us all, and it brings us to understand the purpose for which we were born.